Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, there lived a miller who boasted endlessly about his daughter's extraordinary talent for spinning straw into gold. The king, intrigued by this claim, summoned the miller's daughter to his palace and demanded that she demonstrate her skill. Terrified and unable to spin straw into gold as her father had boasted, the miller's daughter wept in despair as she faced the king's wrath. But just as all hope seemed lost, a mysterious little man appeared before her, offering to spin the straw into gold in exchange for a promise. Desperate to save herself from the king's anger, the miller's daughter agreed without hesitation. With a wave of his hand, the little man set to work, spinning the straw into shimmering gold thread until the room was filled with golden light. When the king returned to inspect the gold, he was astonished by the miller's daughter's apparent skill. In his greed, he demanded that she spin even more straw into gold, promising her great riches and rewards in return. Once again, the miller's daughter found herself at the mercy of the little man's magic. Night after night, he returned to her chamber, spinning straw into gold in exchange for promises she could not keep. But when the king's demands grew too great and the miller's daughter had nothing left to offer, the little man demanded the most precious promise of all, the miller's daughter's firstborn child. Terrified and heartbroken, the miller's daughter had no choice but to agree, for she knew that the little man's magic was too powerful to defy. And so, when the king declared her his queen and they welcomed their first child into the world, the little man returned to claim what was rightfully his. Distraught at the thought of losing her child, the queen begged the little man to spare her baby's life. Touched by her tears and pleas, the little man offered her a chance to keep her child if she could guess his name within 3 days. Determined to save her child, the queen searched high and low for the little man's name, sending her servants far and wide to gather information. And on the 3rd day, just as all hope seemed lost, a servant returned with news of a strange little man who danced through the forest, singing a song of his own name, Rumpelstiltskin. With a heart full of hope, the queen confronted Rumpelstiltskin and whispered his name into the wind. Enraged by her discovery, Rumpelstiltskin stamped his feet in fury, tearing himself apart and vanishing into the air. With Rumpelstiltskin defeated and her child safe at last, the queen rejoiced in her victory. And as she held her baby in her arms, she vowed to always cherish and protect him, knowing that no magic or trickery could ever come between a mother's love and her child.